So we're going to talk about one of my favorite characters in fiction, period, point blank, next to Invincible and Spider-Man and Batman. And one of my favorite characters is Obito Uchiha. I really love how set up. He really has a very good, very unique story. I mean, I love it from the beginning. The beginning of him being a part of the team with Rin, Kakashi, and his master Minato, and I love me some Minato. He's an Aquarius just like me, so I gotta love Minato, and he's just one of my favorite characters next to Obito. And just the whole story of Obito as a character is so tragic, so sad, so depressing, so just he's in hell because he's treated like trash when he's young. He's treated like he's the second fiddle to Kakashi, who's, Kakashi is a prodigy that's good at everything. He does everything perfectly. He trains, he practices stuff, and he's just the best, from the beginning. But Obito, just like Guy, had to put in a lot of effort and a lot of work and just didn't really have the talent fully when they were young. They're always constantly getting outclassed by someone stronger than them. So it's just that in itself that's really interesting as a story. And then the fact that even when he's starting to get a little stronger, he's starting to get a little more confidence, then bro gets literally crushed by a giant rock. He ends up giving Kakashi one of his eyes and telling Kakashi to take Rin and protect Rin. And just that little part of the story was very sad as well. It was a very sad point in the story because it was like he genuinely thought he was going to die. So he let out his true feelings to Kakashi and let Kakashi know that he genuinely sees him as a best friend. Of course he sees him as a best friend because, you're around him all day, he's going to be a best friend. Even though Kakashi was kind of a dick, just like Sasuke is. And there's always those parallels to all the different characters in Naruto. All the characters in Naruto have a lot of parallels, a lot. For example, Kakashi is like Sasuke. Sasuke is like Orochimaru. When Kishimoto writes his characters, you can tell that he puts them kind of in their own groups. Hashirama is like Naruto. You know what I'm saying? Obito is like Naruto. Obito is basically like, what if Naruto was an Uchiha that became evil? That's literally what Obito is. He even looks like him. His name sounds similar to him. You know what I'm saying? He's basically a black-haired Naruto with goggles. And that's also what makes me like him, is because he went down the bad path. He doesn't have any parents just like Naruto. And I love how later on in the story, when they're in the Fourth Great Ninja War, it actually explains that, how they're basically like one and the same. It even has that one scene where it shows Naruto and Obito, and it shows like Obito, then it shows Naruto, and it looks exactly the same, like how it's drawn. I really like how they did that parallel. And he's just a very tragic character. He sees his best friend literally kill the girl that he is in love with. And it's not just her getting killed, it's just it's a war in itself. People always say he went crazy because he saw the girl that he loved get killed. That's one thing. But he also went crazy because he realized, like, even as a teenager, he's dealing with all this war, all this anxiety, all this stress, all of this pain, that he has to deal with. And he's literally just a child. I think he's like 12 or 13 years old going through this. He lost half of his body. He told his friend to protect him, and then, protect the girl he liked, Rin. And then later on, he sees his friend that he told to protect his girl, that, he kills him. That's a lot to go through, So that in itself is just a very good story. And then him constantly keeping this resentment of the fact that his friend killed the girl that he loved, and then he gets, healed a little bit by White Zetsu and healed a little bit by Madara, old man Madara. And just even that part of the story of him kind of trying to, get healthy again was a very dark, sad, but good story. Like when he has half of his body is gone, and then White Zetsu decides to help him and whatnot. That is a good part of the story. And then later on, when he's pretending to be Toby, he's pretending to be like this goofy character, acting super goofy. And he's like kidding. And then he shows who he actually is a little bit. But it's even crazier because he's pretending to be two different people. Like he starts out pretending to be Toby, then he pretends that he's Madara, then finally we get the reveal and we find out he's Obito. That in itself is a very good part of the story that I really enjoy as well. Is that there's so many twists and turns in Naruto, and there's so many different characters that Obito is. He was the masked man that released the Nine Tails, and he fought Minato. That was good too, I mean, there's just a lot of different things that he does. It's very enjoyable to watch. Naruto genuinely is a masterpiece, and you can tell that Kishimoto knows how to use his characters very well, and he knows how to use a certain set of characters that are inspired by another set of characters to tell another story, which makes it even better. You know, like Kakashi is like, what if Sasuke didn't turn evil and actually became good? I love that. But they both start out as like edgy douchebags that are prodigies. I love that. Good parallel. Enjoyable watch. Rin is like, what if Sakura was nice to Naruto, basically? What if Sakura was actually nice to Naruto and kind of showed him affection and actually was nice to him? I actually like Rin way more than Sakura, even though Rin ain't even had that much screen time. And then, you know, like I said, I love Minato as being the guide that tries to help them, because Minato is like the kindest, sweetest, most pure dude. He's kind of dumb sometimes, but he's super smart. Yellow Flash, he's the fastest. I love his power and abilities. It's really cool. I love the jacket that he gets when he becomes the fourth Hokage. It's like the coolest looking jacket I've ever seen in anime. Really enjoyable character to watch, and his story is also very sad. Naruto's whole basis of the story is about pain. Like this whole, it even has a character named Pain. Like everything in Naruto is painful. Everybody's going through different problems and losing people left and right because of the wars that they keep constantly going through, because everybody has their own ideology. And then even some people have the same ideology, but it's for some reason feels different. Pain and Naruto both wanted to help the village, but it feels completely different. But they're technically doing the exact same thing. You know, it's very interesting when you see that type of stuff in the story, you know. And Pain explains the cycle of hatred, and the cycle of hatred makes perfect sense, mostly because of how illogical a lot of people are, and how a lot of people will turn on you and try to hurt you. You think they're your friends, and then they turn on you and destroy everything that you love. Well, that's actually very realistic. A lot of people do that. A lot of people would turn on you for any little thing and bring you pain, and then you're hurt and you're crying, thinking you're living in hell just like this. And it's crazy. Naruto was very ahead of its time, because it says I'm living in hell, right? People say that all the time now. I hear people say it. We are living in hell. It's like, you know, because it's hell on earth. Earth is hell. I've heard people say that so many times. So it's crazy that Naruto was saying this almost 20 years ago. Maybe even it came out in 2003 with normal Naruto, came out in 2003 the dub. So Shippuden probably came out about 2004, 2005. It's crazy because they were even saying this back then, you know. So let's see. What else do I have to say? And then also as well, Obito at the end realizing that he's completely not redeemable at all. He cannot be redeemed. But he still tries to help Naruto in the little last moments of his life that he has left. I like that. And then I also like the fact that he becomes a child again, and he sees Rin on the other side, and they're together again, which is really cute. There is some things where people were saying that Rin didn't really like him like that. Rin clearly did like him. I mean, why else would she grab his hand and take him to the other side? And, you know, I mean, he's really in love. You could look at it as she's just a sweet girl who loves friendship. You could see it like that. You can see it like they're in love, you know, but I mean, they never really kissed. Like, it's not like how Minato and his girl, you know, the red habanero, you know, they were like genuinely in love. Like, we got the little story of being in love. So, I mean, you could see it like that, but all that matters is that Rin was literally his light. It's just like how Gon and Killua always says that Gon is his light, because Gon is such a sweet, kind kid who always shows him the sweet, kind side. It's the same thing with Naruto. Naruto is literally Obito's light. He brought him, you know, semi back to the good side. Even though he could never be on the good side, he still helped the good side, you know. So, you know, he saw the light in Naruto. It's always interesting, too, because the redhead girl, I forget her name, with the glasses, that was obsessed with Sasuke, even she saw the light in Naruto. She's like, his chakra feels so calm and relaxing. Like, I love that part. Because Naruto is genuinely a good dude, but he gets treated like trash constantly. But instead of him becoming this, he tries his best to save his crazy ass evil friend Sasuke. And Sasuke is borderline non-redeemable as well, but we kind of just let him be redeemed. I mean, even though he tried to kill Sakura like 6 times, but for some reason she still wants to be with him. Very strange love. Their love was very forced, I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, Hinata and Naruto's love was kind of forced.